Hey, welcome back YouTube. So today I'm going to talk about a couple things about fingerprinting. I had a colleague talk to me about something I shared something with her about what was happening with my fingerprint system. And of course, when I start a video, some big truck drives down the road. So hold on one sec. I gotta get my equipment. I'm not prepared. Okay, so here we go. So I use the Patrol fingerprint scanner from HID. I showed that in a prior video. It's this big box right here. So that's what it looks like. And on top of there's a protector, a membrane that protects the glass. And I did a fingerprint job yesterday with a guy, and this was a repeat, resubmission, because the guy he's disabled, he can't move, and the first time I did it was 3 weeks ago. His nail messed up the membrane. So I'm like, okay, I'll replace the membrane. I have some membranes, and I did that. And then yesterday, same thing happened because I had to reprint it, and I got the membrane. I know you won't be able to see this, or maybe you can. Right here, his nail gouged my membrane, and it was so bad that the software was thinking it was a fingerprint. So I'm like, okay, great. So I couldn't take his fingerprints anyway, but it messed it up. I had to replace it again. And so when you get these membranes, they come with this protector on it that says remove protective sheet. Okay, so I don't know if that's forward or backward or whatever, but you remove these. There's one on either side of this. So you take one off, put it on your fingerprint reader, and then you remove the top one off the other side to actually use it. So why am I telling you this? Because you need to have spare units, spare equipment, spare membranes. So I have a few, and the ones that I have, I bought some of last year, and the whole year I used the original one that came on the unit. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to, after a year, maybe I should replace it. It's been a year, so I replaced the membrane, and then a couple weeks later, the guy ruins it, and then 3 weeks go by, and I have to go back, and he ruins it again. So I go there, and I bought some extras yesterday, and it's $170 for these membranes, it's a lot of money. If you figure it out, it's whatever, $35 or whatever I don't even know what the dollar amount, between $30, $35 a membrane, okay? Which is not a lot of money in the big scheme of things, because the thing you have to think about is, if I didn't have that membrane, his nail could have scratched up the glass, and I would have ruined a $2,000 piece of equipment, and I would have been paying $2,000 to stay in business. So you have to think about it in that regard. So that's what I wanted to share with you. There was something else that I wanted to share as well about fingerprinting, and that is, there was something that I wanted to share about the record review. Somebody had made a comment that can you do your own record review, and I'm going to say, technically, no, you're not supposed to do your own fingerprinting, your own live scan. So whenever I have to get live scan, I usually go to a colleague, or have my wife do it, or somebody else do it, with a different fingerprint rolling number. So my wife's on my account, for example, and I've had her. I actually haven't had her do my fingerprints. I've had a colleague do my fingerprints. I've done my wife's fingerprints for her notary license or notary commission, and you know, just somebody else. Don't do your own. But I've heard from another colleague that she's done it herself, and you know, I guess if you're just doing it for just to see what the result is, who cares? It's not something, you know, record reviews for your personal knowledge anyway, so I don't know if it's a big deal. For other things like jobs and or other licensing that you're doing, yeah, I wouldn't do your own. I'd do have somebody else do it for you. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about that. I know it's a short video. Hopefully that was helpful. I guess the takeaway is, you know, make sure you have spare parts and supplies to stay in business. So the membrane's one of them. The other thing is these little tape things that you need to use to take off fingerprints off your device. Have a bunch of those on hand. So all that stuff adds up. Oh, I know what I wanted to mention. This is what I wanted to mention. So I've been fingerprinting a lot. This last month I had 200 people that I fingerprinted. Not a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of other locations and people that fingerprint a lot more than I do, but it was my high for this year. And I'm going to have quite a few groups. One coming up on Friday, going to school to fingerprint like 40 people. And I sent an email to my vendor. I said, hey, can you just move me up to the next tier? Because I was thinking the next tier was $150, which would give you X amount of people. So I'm like, okay, I'm over that. So if I do over 150 people, you know, I'm going to be paying $150. Well, he came back and said, yeah, I'll move you to the next tier. It's to get 250 people. And it's like $100 or something for the month. And I'm like, oh man, why didn't I could have saved, you know, like $500 over the year if I had gone to that tier ahead of time, you know, in the past. So now I'm going to be on that tier. To make it worthwhile, you need to be fingerprinting at least 100 people a month, and I am at that level now, so that's good. So the only way I need to move up to next tier would be if I'm in the 250 or above range. So I'm not at that level yet. Maybe soon I will be. I don't know. You never know. But so I'm at the 250 person level, and so that's good. I think the next level is 500 people, and I'm not at that level yet. So 250 is good enough for me. So I just want to share with you that information, because knowing that information, or what the levels, if your vendor does have levels, knowing that information could save you a few dollars here and there. In my case, if I add it all up, it's probably, I want to say it's probably, I could have saved $500. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit too high out. But I want to say I could have probably saved 250, I bet. Maybe half of that. So, you know, every little bit that you can save, you can allocate that money to other advertising things or whatever you want to do. So I just want to share that with you. And if you hung to the end of this video, like and subscribe. I should have said that at the beginning, but oh well. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway, because I'm at 500. I'm a little over 500 subscribers, and I thought about that this morning. So look for that in my next video. Maybe I'll do a little giveaway. Actually, if you stay to the end, I'll just tell it right here. So So if you're a notary, okay, if you are a notary and maybe you're not a notary and you don't, or you're like only into fingerprinting, I'm gonna do 2 giveaways. So if you're a notary and you're watching this video, just put in the comments, notary, I will put your name in the drawing. If you're only interested in live scan, put live scan in there, and I have something that I can auction or raffle off for a live scan person. Okay, and well, actually, it doesn't need to be live scan. Fingerprinting, just put fingerprinting, because what I'm going to give away for the fingerprinting is some fingerprint cards, not the FD258 cards. I'm going to give some child identification cards that I think I've spoken about in the past, but those cards are good to get people to give away to people as a marketing tactic. Give it to some parents. And then on the notary side, I have journals, so I'll hand away a journal, give away one of those that I'm not using now, and I have quite a few. I probably have maybe 10 more journals that I can give away, but I'll give one of those away. And so put that in the comments. We'll see how many people.